Morning YouTube. As you can see, it's still dark outside and it is Sunday morning, 6:30. Mornings and nights are really pulling in now, which means you can't get an early start. Anyway, I don't do a lot of Sundays. The reason I am doing a Sunday is because I arranged with a client to come into one of their car parks, which is usually full to the brim with cars, and I was assured that there wasn't many people working today and the people would park in the centre of the car park. So I shall explain the job in a minute, and I'll explain the first problem we've got. So the job is to cut this down and trim it down. There's a few roses and things in there. We'll cut the bigger stuff out, but most of it's going to be trimmed down and left on the surface and then weed killed. A few corns and other things. The hope is that once we cut all this down, that we will next year we'll spray it 3 or 4 times a year and it will keep it tidy. As well as that, we're losing a few car park spaces for these overhanging trees, so I'm going to cut those down. Look, massive car park, loads of spaces in the middle. A little bit more down this side. This will be mainly just to trim up. A couple of brambles in there. And then back round, just to lift these trees up, because as you can see you're losing car parking bays again, so we'll lift these up. We've got our long handled battery chainsaw, which I'll show you in a minute. And as I say, lots of bays everywhere, and look, amazing. Before we start on them bits, we can start over the other side for now and back to here, and like I say, it's just lifting these up so we can create some more space in there. And this is the bit of kit what we're going to be using today for the trees, the Stihl HTA85. It extends to the same distance as the previous petrol one, so we'll see what the performance is like. We've used it once just to test it out, but we'll give it a go today on a good hour or two's work and see how it performs. So stay tuned, guys. So you'll notice from the video here that I'm actually using the strimmer cord. I'm using 3mm Stihl strimmer cord on it, the hexagonal stuff, and some people will say, well, why you're not using a metal head? Most of this is weed, apart from the odd rows and things that you saw earlier. And what I did was I cut those down first with a hedge cutter, and I find it easier just to go at this with the strimmer and the grass head. With a lot of these weeds being sort of end of season now, they're very brittle, so it's not like you're trying to hack them mid-season when they're at the full growth potential. So it does a good enough job. Trim it down 3 or 4 times from the top and work your way down, and it leaves very little behind. It'll just rot away, decompose, and like I say, this will be weed killed afterwards, so in a couple of weeks' time there should be nothing left on it. We may have to come back in here just to clean leaves up. The clients mentioned that's something else they want us to start tackling. So, but main job, like I say, was just to get this down and get it tidy. You can see how overgrown it is from the height of myself, which is 6 foot. Some of these weeds and grasses are at the same height, so yeah, you will notice a big difference when all this is finished. Once the grass is down and finished with, we're going to move on to the trees next. And as I showed you earlier, the HTA85 we're going to use in conjunction with the AR3000 battery pack, which we've got a couple of these now and we find them really good, to be honest. You're getting quite a lot of time out of it, and I was impressed with the amount of time we got out of this car park. I think I did roughly about an hour and a half cutting with this machine, and we only lost one bar. So these machines could potentially operate all day with the long-handled saw, and as well as that, it's a very light saw, as well as being very quiet. So it ticks all the boxes really. If you're in a residential area, you'll get started a bit early without worrying about waking people up, to be honest, because it is very quiet. So all we're doing is lifting everything up to sort of 10 foot to open the bays up, because when the trees have leaves this time of year, it weighs them down. Yes, it's not a problem in the back end, because once they drop the leaves, the branches lift up. But we're looking at next year and the year after, and by doing this, it'll mean that the client doesn't have to get us back in to do this specific task for a good couple of years. So we've got our Timberwolf chipper here, as you can see. Really impressed with this since we bought it last year, and it has saved a lot in tipping costs, as well as not so much here where we're shedding it back onto the area to keep the weeds down, but on other areas where we're taking it away and we can reuse it on jobs, providing it's not disease stuff, and we can put it back on shrub beds. So it is a good bit of kit. So as I said earlier, it's the same extension length as the smaller, as the petrol HT131, which we usually use, the petrol version. So it extends sort of 2.7 to 3.9 meters, which is quite a height really, especially here where we can get above the fence and to the height we want without having to get a platform in or use ladders or get a tree climber in. So it is, you can see there, the actual space we create in there. So, and all of these car park bays can then be used. So this job here, all in all, was about 3 hours in and out, and I was, as I said, I was on my own this day, but it provided a good finish, and the client was happy with what we've achieved. This area here will get has been weed killed now as you watch this video, so that will now be dead. We do have to come back because they've asked us to put a moss clearance on the car parks here, so that'll be a bit extra work. And looking forward, we will hopefully, like I say, be maintaining this a bit more regular, so it keeps it in check going forward. So as you can see, there's a lot of moss there, but we'll get rid of that. We don't want people slipping on stuff like that, so, and it keeps us busy. So as we come along the far side, you saw the trees earlier. These were the worst bays. These were the ones that they couldn't use, but you look there now and there's plenty distance there for people to park cars or anything really, trucks or anything. So made a big difference for this client, and going forward we will monitor it every couple of years and just advise them if when we think it needs doing again. We do other works for this client as well. So hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and like I say, with the battery powered equipment, hope you enjoyed watching it in action. And if you're not already subscribed, and if you could subscribe to the channel and give us a like, that would be great. Thanks for watching.